Okay, so as I stated, this is the Sanborn Oblique Analyst demo. I'll go over some of the functionality and the tools of the viewer. If you have, questions, feel free to ask them. I may answer them, so if you want to wait till the end, we can go over those. But I'm happy if I need to slow down, just let me know. So you should be able to see the viewer screen. Up here, so right now, this viewer is hosted by Sanborn for you to review. So once you click on the link in a web browser, it'll take you to this opening location. We recommend, I'm using Edge here, which is typically what I view it in. Sometimes, depending on the version of Chrome and other versions of IE you have, sometimes there's a little bit of compatibility issues. You can use functions. They function fine, but sometimes it'll give you an error or something depending on which version you have. But we recommend using Microsoft Edge if you have it. So on the viewer, we'll start with some of the tools you have. So if you look in the upper left-hand corner, this is going to be your main toolbar. So you see here you have like a little mouse icon. This is your pan and zoom. So you can, pan around and zoom. You can also use your mouse, your button, and your mouse wheel to pan around, zoom in, zoom out. And then you have a zoom in, zoom out button up here. So you have a couple options to do that. The next toolbar you're going to have is to set a location. And so this is where you click that button, you set a location, and then your multiple views will appear over here on the right-hand side. And I'll go into that a little bit more a little bit later. So then you have, if you want to remove that set location, just click the remove set location. And then you also have an ability to display coordinates. So if you click that, you'll see that the coordinates up here, and this may be helpful if you're creating a map or sharing some information with a colleague or something like that. You also have functionality to measure some heights, lengths, and I'll demonstrate these in a little bit. Some area, slope. You can drop a point. You can draw a line. You can draw a polygon. You can insert a text box. You can erase all your drawings. You can print out a PDF, and then this question mark is a help document. So if you click on that, another window will open, and here's some help documents, kind of a general view of how to use the SOA. So then over here in the middle of the left-hand side, you'll see an information pane. You can click on that. You can do searches in here. For instance, if we wanted to search for the Capitol here, which I'm sure y'all are all familiar with, the Capitol Museum building. And you can see you get a list of options here. It'll search that. So then it'll drive you to that location. You can also search for landmarks and stuff like that. If it finds it, you'll see a listing down here. Otherwise, if it doesn't find it, it'll give you a message saying, cannot find location. So you have that option to search. Over here on the right-hand side, in the upper right corner, you'll see that it has flight dates of when the imagery was flown for that location. And then, once you click on a set a point, your oblique views will show up. In the very bottom right-hand corner, there is a map. So if you click on that, this will show you where your location is on a street map. And you can see the orange dot is the set location. The orange rectangle outline is the view that you're looking at, and the blue polygon is the footprints extent. To hide that, you just click on that little M and I'll hide that locator. And then in the bottom middle, you will see that there's a compass here. And so this compass does a couple things. So it'll show you, it always points to true north. So your imagery is always true north. Then you can go to different views. So if you hover over one of these little trapezoids here, it'll show you the view from that location. So you can hover around, it'll bring up that view. If you click it, then it will go to that view and show you that. So let's go ahead and go set a point here. So again, on my toolbar, I'm going to go to this, the second toolbar, the little compass here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click in here. I'm going to set my location. And then you'll notice on the right-hand side, the different views that are available appear. So you can click on, so if I click on the view from above, it'll change that perspective in your main view, so what you're looking at. And then you can do that for all the different views. You can change the different perspectives. So that you can cycle going in and out of the different views as such. As again, if you're using the compass, you can also do the same thing. As I said, if you hover over it, it'll just bring up a pop-up window of that view. But if you click it, it'll change that perspective to your center. Your center image will be that from that perspective view. From here, so if we go in here and let's say we want to measure how big this sidewalk is right here. Let's say, you know, there's something, this sidewalk needs to be replaced and we need to, you know, figure out what size of that area is. So I went and clicked the Draw Polygon tool, which is the little A up there, and I just draw my polygon, double clicked it. Now I have my polygon, and it's telling me it's 738 square feet. So if I wanted to go in here and I wanted to share this with a coworker, I could go add a text box. And I could add some text. Please review this sidewalk area. Something like that. I hit enter, and then my text is right there. So you can take that, and if you want to, you can print it out to a PDF. If you want to share that in a location, you can put it out to a PDF, and then it'll ask you, a little pop-up box will come up. Do you want to save this? Yes or no? And you could do that. To get rid of those drawings, I'm going to click this button right next to the text box, and that's just going to get rid of them. So let's say I want to go and I want to, you know, do a length measurement. Here I can take this length measurement toolbar, click on that, you know, and then start my length to what I want to go, double click, and it finishes it out. So you can measure any, you know, feature length. You can also measure the height of features. So let me clear that out. Let me go to maybe a different perspective. Sorry, didn't mean to draw that. Let's say we wanted to measure this tall building here. So I'm going to click on this measure height. I'm going to click to where I want to start my measurement, to where I want to end my measurement. And then they'll show my height there as 136, almost 137 feet tall. So you can measure that. Again, you can add in some text. You can click on this coordinate display, And again, you can drop some coordinates there. That's very helpful, to coworkers if you want to share that information or where that's located at. And again, you can put text in and print it out. So let me clear that out here. So let's say you want to go look at a different location on the map. On this compass bar, as I said, these trapezoids would change the different views. If you want to get to a navigational pane, you click on the triangle compass bar, and this will give you like a street navigation pane. And say you want to, go look at, somewhere else. So what I'll do is I'll go and get my set location marker. And let's say we want to look over here. And then you can see it moves the map to that location. And then I can go in, and this little half moon will give me the view of. It'll bring up the imagery for that location. And now I can look at the different oblique views from those locations. And again, you can pan using your mouse, pan using the pan key, and then you can go and do additional measurements, additional drop additional text, and move freely around. If you get close to the edge of the oblique imagery area, you may notice that on the right side that you only have a few perspectives, and that's just because those are the oblique images that are available for that area. And you'll notice that once you get around the very edges of the imagery acquisition area. So that's kind of the overview of the functionality. We've tried to make it fairly easy for users to interact with. Again, we always welcome feedback. So do you have any questions at this time? Did I go a little fast? Do you want me to repeat something? I'll open it up to the group. Hi, Chris. Chris, could you either send me a couple examples of that and I'll look into it, or send it to Pete and he can forward it on to me? Because I know when I did a couple searches for like the Capitol Museum and stuff, it looked like it was pretty good. So it might just be, what it's searching in the background or where it's pulling that address information from. Yeah, if we can get that to Pete or to myself, and then I'll look into that a little bit and see if I can get you an answer on that. Anybody else? There is a plugin for ESRI that that'll go with the desktop, and then it will come up and launch the viewer in the same location. So you can use the oblique imagery with the viewer while using the desktop. And that'll be delivered with the SOA and the cached imagery. Yes, that is correct. Anybody else? Okay, well, if there's no other questions, I wanted to make sure we had enough time for, all the questions. So that's why I asked Pete to schedule it for an hour, just because I didn't know how many questions we would have, and I want to make sure we had enough time for that. But was there a question? Yeah, you can give them, the link by either giving them the coordinates, or you can have them, print them out a PDF. You can PDF kind of your view with your comments. Say if you had any other polygons drawn or lines drawn or, something like that, you can share that with them. Certainly. Hi. Know that the map in the bottom right corner is mainly just to get a street view. If you want, you can pan around in here. You can pan around, you can zoom in, and you can zoom out. But if you want to move locations, you have to go to the Navigational Pane view, which is a little triangle here. And that will give you that, and that will allow you to, around and change your location. You can move around in here, and then, go to your set location, click in here, and then that'll move all of your imagery to that location. Certainly. Anybody else? Okay. I hope this was helpful to you guys. If you have any questions, or if anything comes up after the meeting today, feel free to reach out to me, or if you reach out to Pete, maybe he can pass it on to me. I'm happy to help you guys, support you guys in any way I can. Certainly, Pete, I'll go ahead and I'm going to stop recording, and I will get this recording off to you.